Alright, this PhotoPie tutorial is about how to make the foreground subject match the background. Now this topic is particularly important when implementing our background products because our goal at PhotoPie is to actually put your clients inside the reality that is on this background. So in this case, we want this model to look like she is standing inside of an elegant, regal European hall. So our first step is to look the whole picture over and see what doesn't match. Naturally, the first thing you notice is that she is brighter than her background. The lightest lights on her face are brighter than the chandeliers, the windows, and all the bright places in the background. The darks in her hair and eyes are darker than the darkest places in this background. So the overall contrast of the background need to be adjusted in order to match what we see in the foreground. So in order to do this contrast calibration, we first want to take the mask tool and make a selection of our foreground subject. I'm going to do this rather hastily for time's sake. But if you're doing this for your clients and want to create a quality product, I suggest you do it a little more meticulously. And we're going to do a feather, 2 pixels. Select inverse. Now we're going up to layer, new, and new layer via copy or Command J for you power users. Now that we've created this new layer, you can see the new layer created. If you want to further adjust your selection, you can take this down to mask, and it creates a black and white mask layer, and by using the brush tool with the normal function, you can toggle the black and white by pushing X, and you can add or subtract to your selection by using this brush tool. But we're not going to use that right now. We're just going straight to the contrast adjustments, image adjustments. You could use brightness contrast, but we're going to use levels because it's a tool with more precision than the brightness contrast tool. Now that we've created this layer, all of our adjustments are isolated to this background. So like we said, we wanted to bring in the blacks. We wanted to make the blacks darker and the lights wider. Okay, and we want the brightness to match the light that's on her because hypothetically these chandeliers are what is lighting her face. Now you can tell that as we've made this last adjustment, we've also increased the saturation of the whole picture. So we have to make a coordinating adjustment in hue saturation. We want to take down the saturation to compensate for the amount we just increased it. So I'm going to take it down about 30 degrees. This is a little bit subjective. You could take it more if you still feel like it's too orange in the background. I'm going to hit OK. Now that we've done this, there's one final step. We need to take the color of the light in the background and match that color to the light on her skin. The contrasts are relatively the same. The darks behind here, these darks match her hair and eyes. The brightness that you see back there could reasonably be the same type of brightness that is coming up on her. She might be standing by a window or have a little extra light source, but it's in the same ballpark of contrastness so that the eye thinks this could actually be reality. The final thing we want to do is go back to our foreground. Usually I wouldn't recommend working on the background layer, but for demonstration's sake, I'm going to use that to adjust the model. Back to hue saturation. And this time I'm going to increase the saturation. I'm going to increase it to about plus 30, maybe a little less. I don't want to paint her orange, but I want to leave a faint trace on her of the orange tint that's all around her. Because hypothetically, the light that reflects off these chandeliers onto these gold plates and back onto her would take some of that color with her and paint her with that faint tint. So now you see in her hairline, on her shoulders, under her chin, all around her there's just this faint orange haze, but she is not orange overall. And with these few simple steps, we have gone most of the way to creating a matching background and foreground. There's still a few cosmetic things left to do. You could take out this seam line with patch or clone tool and do a few more cosmetic things on the model in the foreground. But in general, we have gone a long ways in putting this model into this reality. She is now a beautiful woman in a European regal hall. So with that, I'm going to wrap up, and thanks for listening to this PhotoPie tutorial. Stay tuned for more to come.